Hello everybody, welcome to another installment of the KIO series. It's a nice beautiful morning with squirrels just traveling around all the trees, and my dog is just so interested in those squirrels. But anyway, that's not why I'm here today. I want to talk about, I want to answer a question or address a question that was just emailed to me. Again, if you have questions, email me at killabecenter@gmail.com. Chances are I might answer that question of yours here on a video. The question essentially was this. He was saying, I've been watching the KIO series. It's been very helpful. Great practices, great tools. Thank you, Scott. Tell me how this exactly ties into awakening and embodiment. That's what I'm interested in, he said. Everything that I'm doing in this KIO series pertains to awakening and embodiment. Don't get fooled by the language that I use. When I talk about anxiety, depression, trauma, addiction, deficiency stories, all that stuff, I'm pointing to our actual experience. And then through these concepts that I'm talking about, I'm having you look at your words and pictures of your mind and your feelings and sensations of the body, and I'm helping you unhook from identification from those things. The entire series is about awakening. There's an old saying that says the way to awakening is not around, it's through, right? It's through our human experience. So many of us are dealing with trauma, depression, anxiety, addiction. So our awakening happens by going through that experience and deconstructing that experience so that we can live in peace and presence and joy and openness. And so the whole series is about that. You just have to pay attention. The thing about awakening is there's just not a step process. It's not like the 12 steps where you like go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then step 12, I'm awake. No, it doesn't. In fact, that doesn't really even happen very often in the 12-step programs. A real spiritual awakening doesn't even happen there. But this is not the kind of linear methodology that your mind is used to. You have to remember that. Because the mind likes its like logical steps to kind of get me to a certain place or a certain state. This is different. I'm trying to show you how to rest as awareness throughout the day, as many times as possible, over and over, noticing thoughts, letting them come and go, bringing your attention down to your body, feeling that, allowing that to be, and then resting again. And that practice applies in every single situation, whether you're experiencing depression, anxiety, addiction, stress, a trigger by your partner, something that happens at work, whatever it is. All I'm ever doing is pointing back to this experience of being awake and aware to your interior thoughts, feelings, and sensations so that you can unhook from identification from those things. And that's what relieves suffering, right? So if you do the KIO series and you follow along with the practices with me and you start to implement those practices in your own life, you'll start to experience that awakeness. Awakeness just refers to the experience of being here now. It's indescribable because the now is just now. It's just here, awake and aware to now. Now, what happens in the now, what arises in present awareness, is important to look at, to investigate, because sometimes our present experience brings suffering, or it brings compulsion, or addiction, or desire, or fear, or a sense of threat, or a feeling of depression, or a story, a paradigm, a belief that brings suffering. This work is about unraveling that suffering. All of these videos are about unraveling that suffering in a very gentle and humane way, always looking and resting from awareness. Okay? So to answer your question, the whole thing is about awakening. It's also about embodiment. Okay? So many of the videos I've talked to you about coming down into your body and exploring your body in a skillful way. See, if we could just come down and just kind of feel something without skill, without rest, we may even, by doing that, we may reinforce those sensations and emotions, or we may get stuck in them. I'm providing tools to allow you to be with those feelings and sensations in the body in a way that allows them to naturally, very naturally, dissolve away for you, so that energy can move more freely within the body-mind system. And when that energy is moving freely, and I have that experience every day of my life, the energy just moves freely within my experience. It doesn't get hooked up anywhere. It doesn't get caught here in the throat anymore. It doesn't get caught in the stomach or the heart or the stomach or the pelvic area. I don't have those contractions anymore. Therefore, I don't get triggered that much anymore. That's what awakening and embodiment is, really. Is to be so tuned into your present experience and so allowing of everything that arises in words, pictures, feelings, and sensations, and resting with all of that and skillfully inquiring into that. That's what wakes us up. And it's also what helps us embody that awakeness, bringing awareness all the way into the body to deal with the traumas and the urges and the sensations, the repressed emotions, whatever else. This whole work is about that. Don't get confused about this. I understand where the question came from, but we have to be honest here and say, look, I'm not a therapist. I'm not doing therapy with you. I'm not a counselor. I'm not giving you advice. I don't know what's best for you. All I know is I have some really good practices that help you awaken and embody that awakeness. That's what I'm sharing with you with this series. Thank you. Love you.